Welcome back to Tom. Today we're making brisket. Usually I show you the cooked dish. This is the uncooked dish because it's gonna be hours before it's ready, and I want to get this recipe to you as soon as possible. So we're making Aunt Eudice's brisket, and Aunt Eudice is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and nothing was better than going to their house for Pesach and having Aunt Eudice's brisket. It is delicious. It is crazy easy to do. This is like the go-to brisket recipe. So what I have here is actually quite a small piece because my house isn't kosher with Pesach yet. So we're gonna eat this brisket this Shabbat. And I don't want to have any leftovers. So small piece of brisket, but same recipe for a big piece. What I have is 6 onions that I've finely sliced, and there they are. And my piece of brisket is ready. So I'm going to look after that brisket a little bit. I've got some salt and pepper, and I'm gonna rub it into the outside, obviously, because where else are you gonna rub it, of the brisket. And I'm gonna rub, what I have here is 6 cloves of garlic. So I'm gonna take about half that amount and rub that in to the brisket as well. And I've got here 6 tablespoons of ketchup, and that's gonna go onto the brisket too. We're nearly there, seriously, easiest recipe ever. Here we go, I'm gonna use a spoon to take my ketchup, and there we go, all over the brisket. I'm going to turn the brisket over and do the same thing on the other side. So here we go, salt and pepper going right on there. Yes, brisket. I love brisket that much that I can eat it, you know, the week before Pesach and at Seder, no problem. All right, that was the garlic and the rest of the ketchup. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay. And now the rest of my onions are going right on top, and this is going to make the most extraordinary gravy. Here's the thing with Pesach. You don't have much to work with, so you got to use what you've got, onions and garlic, to like a massive amount. This is where all your flavor is going to come from. So yes, loads, crazy amounts of onions. And now, last but not least, our liquid. I have here 2 cups of orange juice, and in they went, and 2 cups of wine. One of my big Pesach tips is if you wouldn't drink it straight up, don't put it in your brisket. I grew up on this stuff, Shabbat. It is like super fond memories. Yes, I would drink the Shabbat, but if you wouldn't use a different wine, my Aunt Eudice always used a sweet red wine, so I do sweet red wine here, but when I cook it not for Pesach, I do use a dry red wine. And you could really do your own thing. I'm just very excited about my Shabbat in the brisket. All right, my brisket needs to be super duper tightly covered, like really well covered in the oven, 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit for 3.5 to 4 hours. So that was it. That is the work. Cover it up super duper tight in the oven, 3.5 to 4 hours. What you want to test for is that when you stick a fork in it and then you pull out the fork, there's just no resistance whatsoever. If you check after 3.5 hours and there's still resistance, put it back in the oven for another 15 minutes and check again. But do not forget, super tightly covered. It's going to steam in this orange juice and Shabbat and onion concoction. Right, my brisket is super well covered, and into the oven it goes. See you later. It's gonna be a while, but all my work is done. Now it's up to the oven. It's been 4 hours, it's gotten light outside, and our brisket is ready. Let me just show you. I know it's shrunken completely. As I said, it was a very small piece, but there it is. And what you're testing for is that when a fork goes into it, It pulls out with no resistance whatsoever. Just to test again, no resistance. It means our brisket is ready. Now, to the slicing, don't slice it now. That's the trick. Let it get as cold as possible, put it in the fridge overnight, even better, and then slice it. And your brisket will actually taste better after a night in the fridge. You could also make it ahead of time and freeze it. But again, slice it while cold if you want beautiful slices to come out of it. But there we are. Our brisket is done. Thank you, Aunt Eudice, for the best brisket recipe ever. Wishing everyone a beautiful Shabbat wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope it's an incredible Shabbat, and I hope you eat some brisket. See you all soon.